The diner was buzzing with chatter and the clinking of forks on plates, just another ordinary afternoon in a small American town. But in one dark corner booth, something terrible was happening. A group of teenagers, loud and cruel, were mocking a disabled girl. Her hands trembled as she tried to sip her drink, and then one of the bullies slapped it from her hand. Laughter echoed. No one stepped in. An hour later, the door swung open with a heavy creak. A dozen bikers walked in, leather jackets, boots, tattoos. The same bullies from before went pale. What happened next would change the whole town. Hey there, welcome to Whispers of Goodness, the place where we share real, powerful stories that remind us of the kindness still alive in the world. If this story touches your heart, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts or a time when you witnessed kindness in action. Let's keep the good going. Now, let's get into today's story. It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon in May when Ellie and her mom walked into Marlene's Diner, a cozy little place just off the highway in rural Tennessee. Ellie was 17 and had been born with cerebral palsy. Her legs didn't work like everyone else's, and her arms sometimes moved on their own. But her mind, her beautiful, sharp, kind mind, was as bright as ever. She wore her favorite lavender hoodie that day, the one with sunflowers on the sleeves. Her mom helped her into a booth by the window while the waitress, Mary, brought over 2 lemonades. For Ellie, this was a treat. She loved coming to the diner. The pancakes were fluffy, the people usually kind, and for a little while, she could just be a regular girl with her mom, but not everyone saw her that way. 3 boys sat in the booth across from her. They were local high school kids, rough around the edges and loud. At first, they just stared. Whispered to each other. Snickered when Ellie struggled to get the straw to her mouth. Her mom noticed, but tried to ignore it, thinking it would pass. Then one of the boys, Jake, stood up and walked over. He leaned over Ellie's table and said, "What's wrong with you? Can't even drink your own juice?" His friends burst out laughing. Ellie's face turned red, and her hand shook so hard the cup tipped over. Her mom stood up, furious. "Leave us alone," she said, her voice trembling with both rage and fear. Jake smirked. "Why? She broken or something?" And then, he slapped the drink off the table. Lemonade splashed across the floor. The diner went silent, people watched. No one moved. Mary, the waitress, looked horrified, but she was an older woman, and the boys were bigger than her. The cook peeked out from the kitchen, but he didn't say anything. Ellie started crying, and her mom pulled her close, shielding her with her arms. The boys laughed and walked out, tossing a few crumpled bills on their table like they were kings of the world. The door slammed behind them. The diner remained quiet. The damage had been done. Ellie was heartbroken, not just because of the bullying, but because no one had stepped in. No one had helped, but life has a funny way of bringing light right after darkness. About an hour later, the door swung open again. The soft jingle of the bell was followed by the heavy stomp of boots. 12 men and women in leather jackets filled the entryway. Their jackets read Iron Hearts MC. Big beards, tattoos, thick gloves. They looked intimidating as hell. Every head in the diner turned. Even Mary looked a little nervous, but one of the bikers, a tall man with gray streaks in his beard and gentle eyes, walked over to Ellie's table. He knelt beside her and said, "We heard what happened. Someone posted it online. That ain't right. That ain't ever right." Ellie looked at him, wide-eyed. "We're sorry we weren't here earlier," he said. "But we're here now." The rest of the bikers gathered around her booth. They brought over warm pies and milkshakes. One of them pulled out a bouquet of wildflowers from his saddlebag, sunflowers, just like her hoodie. Another handed Ellie a leather patch that read Honorary Iron Heart. "We don't let our own get bullied," the leader said. "And from now on, you're one of us." Ellie smiled, a real, honest-to-God, glowing smile. Her tears turned to laughter as the bikers shared stories, joked with her, and treated her like she was royalty. And then, something unexpected happened. Jake and his friends walked back in. They must have forgotten something or came back for more trouble. The moment they saw the bikers, their cocky smirks vanished. Jake tried to play it cool, but his feet hesitated at the door. The leader stood up. "Hey there," he said calmly. "You the fellas who picked on a disabled girl today?" Jake mumbled, "Was just a joke, man." "It wasn't funny," the biker replied. She's got more courage than you'll ever have. So here's what's gonna happen, you're gonna apologize. Right now. And mean it. The boys stood frozen. The room was silent again. Ellie's mom placed a gentle hand on her daughter's shoulder, but Ellie, now surrounded by new friends, nodded, with the eyes of a dozen leather-clad bikers on them. The boys walked over, awkward and ashamed. Jake stammered, I'm sorry. We shouldn't have done that. The other two mumbled apologies too, staring at their shoes. The biker leader looked at Ellie. You accept? Ellie paused, then nodded slowly. Yes, she whispered. Good, the leader said. Now get out of here and think long and hard about what kind of men you want to be. The boys left, quiet as mice. The rest of the afternoon was filled with laughter, stories, and pie. The bikers stayed for over an hour, making sure Ellie felt safe, seen, and celebrated. They even promised to take her for a ride in the sidecar of one of the bikes the next sunny day. When they finally left, the whole diner clapped. Mary had tears in her eyes. The cook came out and gave Ellie a free slice of chocolate cake. Her mom hugged her and whispered, I've never been so proud of you. Kindness doesn't always wear a halo. Sometimes, it wears leather and rides a Harley. In a world where people often look the other way, where cruelty can go unchecked, it only takes a few brave souls to stand up and say, not today. Ellie's story reminds us that even when the world feels cold, kindness can crash through the door like thunder. It shows up in the most unexpected places, in bikers, in strangers, in a community willing to rally around someone who needed them. So the next time you see someone being treated unfairly, don't be silent. Be the voice, the shield, the friend. You never know how much one act of kindness can mean, or how far it can ripple. Thanks for watching this story on Whispers of Goodness. If it moved you, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs a little light today, and drop a comment below telling us, what's the kindest thing someone has ever done for you? We'd love to hear it. Until next time, keep whispering goodness into the world. You never know who might be listening.